This is the default scene that loads up in Blender, and I'm going to show you how to take this cube and make it into a photograph. The first thing I want to do is make sure it's selected. It's got this yellow border around it. That means it's selected. If I hit the N key, I'll get the property panel over here, and you can see that the dimensions of our cube is 2 by 2. Just to make the math easier, I'm going to start by scaling it to a 1 by 1, so I'll hit S and 0.5. That scales it down. Now it's 1 by 1 by 1. Now to make it into a 5 by 7 photograph, I can hit SC7, SX5, and SY.02. And that scales our shape so that it's approximately the size of a 5 by 7 photograph. Now if I hit 1 to move to the front view, I can hit Tab to go into the edit mode, and I'm going to hit A to deselect everything. So that I can pick the vertices that are hard to see or behind other vertices. I'm going to hit Z to put it into wireframe mode, and then I'm going to hit B for box select and pick the right edge. E for extrude, type in 0.125, A to deselect everything. B for box select, pick the left edge, E for extrude, 0.125, A, B, E, 0.125, A, B, E, 0.125. So that's my shape. I'm going to hit the Z key, put it back into the solid viewport, pick face down here, and I want to pick only this one front face. Now I want to apply an image to that face right there. Let's turn off this tool panel with T, turn off the property panel with N, and split the viewport by left clicking on this triangle in the lower left corner, dragging it to the right, and then unclicking. I want to change this viewport to UV image editor and then open up a picture of Gina in her pink coat. So this is the photo over here, and I want to take this face and I want to take this image and put it on this face. So move your mouse over here, hit U for UV unwrap, UV mapping, and then click unwrap. And that put a border around the picture. If, for instance, I wanted to zoom in here, I wouldn't have to use the whole picture. I could scale this down like this, or let's make it a little bit bigger, and then G, which will help allow me to move the box. So I move it down like that. And what this will do is it'll crop out the top part of the image and a little bit off of each edge. So that image is now prepared. It's not done, but it's prepared to put on to this face here. To finish it, I'm first going to go to Cycle Render, which is the better render engine, and I need to do that before I define my materials. Come over to this button, which is the material button, and it has a default white material. I'm going to change it by clicking on the name, calling it photo, hit use node, change the white color to an image texture, and select my image. I only have one, it's Gina, and now Gina is applied to that face there. If I hit F12, I should be able to render the shape with Gina's picture on it. And there you go. It's a little dark, and that's because the light is behind the picture. If I go to the top view by hitting 7, you can see that the light is over here behind the picture. And right now we're still in the edit mode for this shape. So I hit Tab to get out of the edit mode. I'm going to right click on my light source, change it to sun, make it 1, go to use nodes. I want the strength to be 2. I found that to be a pretty good brightness. And now I want to move it over here by clicking G, moving my mouse, and then left clicking when I get to the spot. I'm going to hit R because our sun has a direction and it's pointing off in this weird direction, so I'm going to hit R, move the mouse, until it points in the right direction, and left click. Now from the right view, I click 3 on the numpad, and I can see it's pointing down. So I'm going to rotate it up like that, and then move the light down like that. And now you can see that the light is pointing at the photo. And if I hit F12, it looks much brighter. Okay, but I don't have my border yet. You can see the border, but it's this kind of gray color. We want it to be a bright white, and that's because I haven't defined a material for that, for those faces yet. So I go back to my 3D viewport, click on my shape, hit tab to go into the edit mode. Right now I still have that front face selected, nothing else. I can invert the selection by hitting Control I. So now I'm going to add a new material by clicking on the plus button, hit new, type in border, and it's going to be white, so I'm going to hit assign. So what I've done now is one face. I'll hit A to deselect everything. I can come over to here and hit select. It's going to show me what is defined as photo, just that one face. A just deselects everything, hit photo, select. Everything else is a white border. Now from here it kind of looks like everything is, but if I turn it a little bit, it's actually the back face that's being selected there. If I hit F12, I can render the photo, and there you go. There's a photograph from that cube. If you hit escape, make sure you're in the 3D viewport, go back to object mode, and if I go to texture, I can see my object and spin it around with my mouse as if it was a picture. Now this is just the beginning of making slideshow effects, but it's a very handy, important technique to know before you go into more advanced stuff. That's it for today.